I wasn't even gonna really like talk about this, but like we got to start thinking on a different level, folks. Like, and I'm talking to black men right now. Um, like this is uncalled for. Now a lot of cats is out here saying, yeah, Chris had it coming, and maybe he did. I don't know, but you know, to use physical violence in a situation where you're not defending yourself, you're not defending anybody from a physical assault. Physicality is not on the menu at that point. Like in this situation, Jada was not in any physical danger. You know, so if she's in physical danger, by all means, do what you got to do. But she was in no physical danger. So physicality is not on the menu, okay? In this situation, what you do is you go and you say, hey, I'll be right back. You go backstage and you say, hey, Chris, let me holler at you real quick. I got something to talk about. And you have a conversation with him. And you say, you know what? Like Jada's going through something, and I know that you saw that as a joke, but it hurt my lady. I would love if you would just go out there and just, say, hey, I'm really sorry about the joke. It wasn't necessary. I didn't need to say that, and I apologize to you, Jada, and direct it to Jada. You make, and then maybe you even make a comment about her situation, like, hey, she's got this particular, condition, and maybe Chris Rock was aware of it, maybe he wasn't, I don't know. But you talk, you have a conversation. You don't use violence unless violence is the only option, to say that, well, this is the best solution that Will could have came up with. It just shows that Will Smith acted. I'm not going to say he is overly emotional, but he certainly acted overly emotional in this situation. That's stuff that we left back in the 8th grade and the 9th grade, guys. We're grown adults now, and we got to learn how to handle things like grown adults. We can't think that physical violence is the answer to the questions, okay? Now, sometimes violence is the answer, but it does depend on what the question is, right? And if the question is, hey, how do I address a situation where my wife is being made fun of by another man, and we're in like a professional environment, like how do I do that? Do I walk up and slap this man in his face? Or do I say, hey, look, bro, I need to have a conversation with you and we're going to handle this like adults, And you sit him down and you talk to him. Now, a lot of people would look at that and say, oh, no, you got to go out there and you got to get physical with that dude who just, spat out a joke. And it's not like this is like, uncommon. People do this type of stuff. I feel like, frankly, like, hey, people need to, keep their mouth shut. I absolutely agree with 100%. Hey, keep your mouth shut and stop making, comments about other people's families and everything like that. But at the same time, like Chris Rock is a comedian, that's his job. He's out there to roast and make fun of people in the audience and all that kind of stuff. That's what these guys do at the Oscars. So, it's not really a uncommon situation. But it's just disappointing to see, like we got two black men, two brothers that is out here, solid professionals. I love to see it. But, and honestly, this would be, a shame if it was any race, it doesn't matter who it is, but it really hurts to see, two grown adults, both of them in their 50s, you know what I'm saying? Like in their 50s, and we out here like slapping people. And it's like, come on, man. Like this has to send a message. I mean, I want people to really start talking to their brothers and their cousins and people in the same age group about, hey, how do we handle a situation like this? How do you handle a situation like this where we got a man making a comment about another man's wife? And yeah, it's in the context of jokes and all that kind of stuff, but still, how do we handle this if things are getting out of hand? What do we do? What do we say? What's the next move? Having conversations like that, that's going to do nothing but help the community, kind of get away from this kind of trend of violence. It always looks like, oh, this is violence. This is where they go when they see these things happen. It goes towards violence. Like, no, we can't do this. This is not a constructive way to handle this situation. So, like, it's just funny, like, you know, seeing so many different comments online and everything like that. Um, and you know, there's some people that they make good points, and they make, you know, like, hey, you know, this is what I think, but I don't think this is the answer, and this is not the way we are raising our children. This is not the way we should be raising our kids. You know, choose a different path. You know, there's got to be a better way. You know, but you know, I will say again, you know, if the situation requires violence, that means that somebody's in physical danger. You know, somebody's in physical danger, and then a physical response is required. 100% understand that. But in this situation, that's not what we had. We just had somebody got a little too emotional, got a little too hot under the collar, and decided, hey, I'm just gonna walk up here and make a scene, and I'm gonna make my point known with physicality, you know. And you know, everybody's making a joke, oh, if that was The Rock, or if that was, you know, what's the brother's name? Man, I can't think of his name, but you know, if that was a bigger dude, you know, he would have sat there in his chair, and they're absolutely correct. I don't think he would have got out of his chair if that was The Rock standing out there making that same joke. I don't think he would have did that. You know, he might have yelled from the, you know, hey man, don't be, you know, whatever, but he wouldn't have got up and, you know, physically assaulted him. You know, Rock would have, you know, dropped a rock bottom on him like right away. You know, but like at the same time, you know, as I'm joking about that, none of this is funny. Like, this isn't funny at all to me. I don't see like why we had to go in this direction with this. But yeah, that was it. That's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching. See you next time.